In a film, there are three parts. Those three parts are, according to your book, the beginning, the middle, and the end. It doesn't matter what the content is. When you tell a joke, if you write a poem, you have to have these three parts. All three parts to a story are different in terms of length and intensity. And you have to make sure that the proportions are correct in order for the story to be effective, okay? In your typical comedy, right? Most comedy films are like 90 minutes long. The intro is like 4 to 9 minutes. But if you watch a 3-hour movie, right? If you watch like Schindler's List or something like that, the intro is only 14 minutes. Okay? The intro is the second shortest part of a narrative, right? So beginning is the exposition, right? The middle is the development. And the end is like the recap. On your triangle, you're going to draw a series of lines, okay? The first line I want you guys to draw will be somewhere on the left side of the image. It doesn't matter how big yours is, okay? But that section is supposed to be the second shortest segment of your triangle. And this is called the beginning. Okay? In a 90-minute movie, right? 90-minute film. Most movies are an hour and a half or 6 reels long. Okay? The beginning is usually 4 to 9 minutes long. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter, right? And you see where that dotted line is? So that dotted line is, you're going to put 2 of the same letter. You're going to put II, okay? And that stands for inciting incident. The inciting incident is where the main protagonist decides that he's going to do something. So there is a moment at the beginning of the film that transitions us from the beginning to the middle. Okay? And this is the development. This section of the film is the longest section of the movie. Okay? And this is about 60 minutes long. And the development of the story is the most important, right? Because you're going to see a series of actions, right? In a horror movie, this is where the terror starts to build, okay? And the first incident is pretty scary. The second incident, even scarier. The third incident, even scarier than the last 2, right? And that is what we call rising action, right? So rising action. And the reason we call it rising is that in entertainment, you expect the artist to continuously build on what he or she has created already, right? If you go to a comedy show, you expect the comedian to get funnier as it gets towards the end, not less exciting, right? In a comedy film, you expect all the stakes to rise. In a drama, right? The drama is supposed to be more and more complex as we get closer to the end. Supposed to be. Not a lot of films are successful in this, right? But like you expect the movie to build. The superhero experiences more danger as we get closer to the end of the film. There's a singular climactic moment, the highest point of the drama. Everything ends very quickly, okay? The last section of a film is usually 1 to 3 minutes long. In a comedy, they put one more joke at the end, right? And then the story is over. So generally speaking, the meat and potatoes, right? Like this, the action and the development can be very, very, very complex, and you're still going to follow it, okay? And the development is always bordered by this ending, a conclusion. In a romantic comedy, this is where the guy and the girl get together at the end. In a romantic comedy, this is where the guy and the girl meet, right? So if you watch like 50 First Dates, or like you watch No Strings Attached, right? This is when, the guy meets the girl, or the guy decides he wants the girl, or sometimes the other way around, right? And then the protagonist continuously harasses the antagonist till she says, okay, fine, we'll go on one date. Movies are just like real life. The action has to continuously keep us interested in the storyline, or people are going to get bored.